I'm Stephanie. This is Deliberately Creative, and I'm a coloring book artist and YouTube art teacher. And I would love to have you hang out with me as we go flipping through this brand new coloring book that I just created. Just came out. I've got a box of 15 of them sitting over there. I am really excited. Stick around later in the show. I'm going to talk about how you might possibly win either a real printed coloring book or a downloadable. So this is going to be something that anybody in the entire world will have access to. I'm so excited. To start off with, I'm going to slide these things out of the way. We're going to do a quick flip. I wanted to say a couple things. One, this is printed by Amazon. I am responsible for all of the art, all of the layout, any misspellings, any weirdnesses that way. Anything that you can see that's printed on the page. But I am not the one responsible for cutting the books, assembling the books, or the paper that's being used. I tried to get the best paper that they have, but basically it's copy machine paper. I mean, really. These are not offset print books. Just those little caveats. Did you guys ever get the workbooks when you were a kid, when they had you open the workbook and flatten the cover and then go back to the front of the book and flatten the cover and then work your way through? That's what you need to do with these books. Basically, what you're going to do is kind of flatten the spine. Now, that can cause some of these pages to come loose, so don't squish it too far. But I figure we're just going to go back and forth through the book. And so there's some sample art at the back of some of the coloring books that I've done. And I've already gone through and pretty much flattened this out. When you flatten it out like this, it makes it so you can actually get all the way to the edge of the page. You don't have to do it one page at a time either. You can do it a few pages at a time. But yeah, I remember having to flatten the pages in my workbooks in grade school. Just makes it easier to color or to write. Now, one of the things about this particular style of coloring book that I do, all of the pictures are printed on the right-hand page. The back side of every page is this really pretty soft dot grid. Makes it so you can use your coloring book as a journal. I was thinking that this would make a really fun, what I did on my summer vacation type journal. Because you can take it along, you can color. Now you get this design a couple times because it's on the cover, it's on the title page. Lots of VWs and such, the classic camping vans in this. But then there's also some other styles of vans, like your Fords and your Chevys and Sprinters and the Westphalias. So you get a combination. You also get some sort of van life. You know, that hashtag van life thing. Or scooters. I love this little kind of Vespa on the back of the van. I found my images for making these coloring books on Unsplash. So I used a lot of references, but then I took some artistic license, and a lot of my backgrounds are artistic license if there's a background in there. I tried to keep them fairly simple, kind of fun. This one is, I love the little canoe on top of this. I did a whole bunch of different types of vans, like I said, and I love flowers. If you've been around very long, you know I love flowers. So I did a couple different landscapey things using flowers, using mountains. This little tree-lined street. Just because the trees are bare doesn't mean you have to leave them bare. I left room. You can make this any season. I actually own a teardrop camper, so I had to slip one into this coloring book. Lots of those jaggedy mountains or rolling hills. I love the old style camper vans. I grew up with Volkswagens. And this is kind of your Sprinter-ish or the Ford Transit style. I like this little mountain. And then trees. I mean, what, Wanderlust, let's go. Lots of scenes near the beach. If you hear anything in the background, car noise or lots of birds, that's because I've got all the windows open. We just got out of a heat wave, and today is the cool day. This is a real thing, guys. It's a Volkswagen Bug that had this RV camper. It was a home build thing. It's like out of Popular Mechanics or something. And a lot of people did do it, but it was never a production model. Sometimes you just need a little van with some chairs and a rug. I like this picnic by the beach with blowy curtains, and it's just a lovely little aesthetic there. This little guy, he looks like he has a face. Reminds me of something that would come out of the cartoon Cars. So you can see there's detail, but then there's simple. And then you get to the pages in the back that are just samples of other coloring books. So this is from my Relax with Nature coloring book. This is from the Gothic Horror coloring book, which is not gory. It's creepy and some sweet. I love this sort of sweet kitty cat. The Positive Vibes coloring book and the Cozy and Creative Designs coloring book. That's the flip through. There's 25 actual camping van designs in here. What I want to do is go ahead and on the page right here where you test your supplies, I want to test and see if putting gesso on this paper will make it easier to use. So I'm going to put gesso on the top three rows. I have a piece of, this is just watercolor paper. It's the Canson 140-pound watercolor paper. I just wanted to put something behind so that I could tape the page down. I'm using a drafter's tape, which hopefully will pull off without tearing the paper. So we're testing a few things. Does the drafter's tape, drafting tape, work on this paper? This paper is like 20-pound bond paper, basically. I think they say it's 60-pound, but I don't believe that. As you can see, is fairly bright white. It's slightly gray. I'd say it's probably in the 90, 91 range for brightness. So your colors show up pretty well on it. I want to make sure that this paper stays sort of flattened until the gesso is completely dry. This is just Liquitex Clear Professional Gesso. I just put it into a different jar. Oh, okay, I got it. Yay, I got it to open without spilling. That's always a trick with me. I've got a jar of water right here to rinse my brush because I don't want my brush to get all yucky. And I also want my brush to be slightly wet, but not dripping. I'm taking the gesso straight from the lid, and I am going to take it across. I'm hoping that this clear gesso won't buckle the paper too bad, but it's going to buckle. But it's not, and I don't want to put too much on here. That's one of the tricks. So a big trick, when you're using wet stuff on the bond paper, you want to make sure that you use as little water with your paint as possible. So while that's drying, my Relax with Nature coloring book, I actually went and painted with watercolor on the paper. And what I did to flatten this page back out was, after the painting was dry, I flipped it and I actually sprayed the back of this piece of paper, put a card behind it and a card on top of it right here, and then laid it underneath of a heavy book. And that seemed to flatten, and it didn't ruin my cover. I love this cover. The supplies I'm using are all listed below with the links in the description of the video. So if you want this coloring book, the link is down there. There's also a link up here. So if you click on that, it will take you to the Amazon shop. Let's let this dry and I'll be back. All right, so this is all dry now. There's a little bit of buckling on the paper, dried pretty flat. I'm testing the Derwent Color Soft, the Derwent pastel pencils, a couple of the Derwent drawing pencils, and the Inktense. So, 4 different coloring supplies, and we'll see how this goes. So right now I've got the Mars Violet Derwent drawing. So it's going on nicely. And I'm going to put the other Derwent drawing color down here at the bottom. This is the ink blue. So one of the things that I noticed right away is that you do get a lot of texture. Whoa. And it also moves a lot. So a lot of texture and a lot of dust. Smears a lot. Can be cleaned up with an eraser. Okay, I like that. So this is the Solway blue. It's kind of a blue-gray color. I'm going to use that right over the top. Ooh, these are very soft and I am very heavy-handed. Now, you can blend the colors. Together with just using a lighter color. That worked. So that's those. Let's go back in and try half of this with a second layer of color. It does use up or grind away your pencils a lot faster, but you can get full coverage. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see if I just pull that up, across and up, over. Yeah, you can use a blending stump. And let's see here. Can you lift out? Okay, if you haven't pressed really hard, yeah, you can kind of lift some of it out. But I can see where that will be kind of messy. So I have an ultramarine and the bright pink Color Soft. Color goes down really fast. Okay, that's how fast it went there. Now I'm over here on... Yeah, that's the other test. Look at the difference in the intensity of the color. Whoa. I did not expect that. So let's take the ultramarine I'm just going to give it a quick color across. And then down here on the, oh my gosh. Oh, wow. That's a surprise. Because I did not press any harder. Let's try those. This is that Mars Violet again. Oh, it's the same down here. It's very muted on the paper when it doesn't have the gesso on it. I mean, it's much smoother. Single layer goes down nicely, but whoa, you really pump up the intensity of the color. Okay. Let's see, can you... Okay. Let's see, can I lift? And this is a soft eraser, so, you know, it's lifting a little bit. This is super, super soft. Not too smudgy. Not smudgy at all. So I anticipate the pastel pencils to be very smudgy. These are the pastels. I don't want it to be too sharp. I like it to be a little bit less. So this is the cobalt blue. Oh my gosh. Pastels on sanded stuff, you know. Wow. Very dusty. Very, very dusty. And it will take a lot of your color right away. Just pulls that color in. So chalk pastel pencil on the sanded paper and on the non-sanded part. Again, the intensity of the color, even if I go over it, is like half of what it is up here. Wow. Okay, I'm totally shocked and surprised. You know, I think instead of blowing that, I'm just going to use my kneaded eraser and pick up. Whoa. All right. So I think I already know what I like here. I do like the Color Soft so far. And, you know, other color pencils work. Berry blue. And give it that second layer. Okay. And this is the Orchid Purple. So you can get nice coverage. All right, and then I'm going to take that Arteza down here at the bottom. It's the same thing though. Look at this. It does not matter what kind of pencil you're using, although I will say that the Arteza pencil seems to be laying down on this paper really nice. Yeah. The Arteza pencil is laying down really nice. I am a softer pencil person. That's why the Color Soft works well for me. Okay, I'm going to put some Arteza watercolor on here. Let's go with the Derwent Inktense. I don't know what color this is. It's a pink. And a blue, because that's what I've been doing, is pink and blue. Wow, it goes on here really, really well. Let's put some down here on the plain paper. You notice I am not being very careful about how I'm laying this down. This isn't a page to make it beautiful. This is that Arteza watercolor. Put that right here and right here. So now I've got them both on the plain paper and the normal. Look at the difference. Oh my gosh. How... Oh, that is the biggest thing here, guys. Is the difference in color from the gessoed to the non-gessoed. This is just a little number 4 black velvet, getting the watercolor pencil. Yeah, it's blending. It is blending it out. I'm taking it outside just so that you can see it better. There we go. Let's see what it looks like, the Inktense on the plain paper. And generally I would not put so much water on my paper on this type of a coloring book page, but I'm just testing what it will do. So up here on the gessoed area, whoa, that's just way too much water. That's just ridiculous. So it laid down really well, but yeah, it wipes off. It sort of dissolves weird. You have to have enough water to make this pencil dissolve. That's really pretty though. I'm just playing with the color. Ooh, that mixed really well up there. So the Arteza pencils work on the gesso. The Arteza watercolor pencil works on the gesso really well. I'm not a big fan of it down here on the plain paper though. That's so weird. This is the Inktense on the gesso. Wow, that is intense. The color is so much better on the gesso though. Arteza, it's better on the gesso than it is on the plain paper. The Derwent pastel pencils work just fine on the paper and on the sanded, but the sanded is much more intense. All of them, the colors are much more intense, less muddy looking. Down here, this Inktense on the plain paper is really kind of dull and muted, but on the clear gesso, oh my gosh. After doing this test, wow. Putting the clear gesso on the paper to do my actual coloring, I think is going to be what I want to do. I want to use some of the Inktense in the background because I can cover a wide area really fast. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to end this video with an announcement. I'm going to be giving away 3 copies of this coloring book. If you are in the United States, you'll have your choice of getting a print version. I'll send it from Amazon to you. Or if you want, you can get the downloadable PDF, and I would send it as an attachment to a valid email address. And if you're anywhere else in the world, you will get a download printable PDF version of the coloring book. That's how I can do it. So anybody anywhere can get it. And you have to check the box that says you're over 18, because I can only send to you if you're over 18. The last part is you have to put in the secret word. And the secret word is camping vans right here. This is the secret word. Secret word. Remember, guys, fill out that form. 1 week from today is going to be when I post the announcement video of who wins. And on that day, we will be coloring in this fun Volkswagen camper van. All right, remember, go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. I want to see you back here again really soon. Oh, let me know in the comments section if you thought that was a total surprise, that the difference between the colors and the intensity with the clear gesso and the plain paper. I was totally shocked. I don't know. Maybe you won't be shocked. Let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.